These conversations aren't always easy, but nonetheless, they are important. And lastly, I want to end on a point of optimism.
I'm calling this Diarrhea of a CEO because he likes to bring in people to talk shit. With the growing of all these podcasts that are there to help people with businesses, health, or other advice, it's weird how the world is just getting worse and worse. And one person that is pioneering the looking professional while talking rubbish is Diarrhea of a CEO. But in Steven's defense, Huel is actually known for making you diarrhea. So if he lays off the Huel, he should be okay. With 16 million subscribers, wow, 16 million, actually I'm not that far from 16 million at the moment. I'm only like 15,999,632 away. So not that far off. At the age of 21, Steven dropped out of university and started a business called Social Change. It was a social media marketing agency that helped big brands. The company went public when it merged with Lumberland in 2019. That allowed the company to trade publicly in the Frankfurt Stock Exchange and the XETRA, both German trading platforms. And after that, well, that's when the money started coming in for him. But because of that social media background, he was able to grow quickly with his podcast. And now he's become one of the dragons on Dragon's Den, a popular show where people come in and pitch to the dragons different businesses they have. Hello dragons, I'm a very resourceful person that's also very efficient. And because of my efficiency, I like the 2-in-1 packages. And for that reason, I would like to show you my business idea. A whisk, but when you need, you just pop it out and it becomes a dildo.
I've seen all of this before. And what I said at the start of this is they send me this stuff all the time. And it's just piling up in my house.
You see, I used to listen to podcasts in the past. It had like a lot of interesting people on, but as it became more and more popular, it started bringing in a bit more controversial people with extreme points of view, and their points of views never was challenged. Steven would just let them pitch their views. The podcast went from I did something amazing, this is my experience, to if you do an ice bath at 2 a.m. in the morning, you can live up to 200 years old. Like, that change occurred really quickly. I feel like he wants to become the UK Joe Rogan, but minus the stool humping. But to be fair, I don't know what Steven gets up to in his free time. After all, with videos like these, anything could be possible.
Is there a way to enlarge the penis?
So you can put your penis in this device. They've actually done research on this. So 30 minutes twice a day, and it does show improvements in length, about 2 centimeters.
Ta-da!
Like, what does that video even have to do with CEOs? To be fair, the smaller the penis, the more likely you have a successful business. That's why my business is going under. You know what I'm saying? Steven was known for bringing in different experts to talk about their experience as well as just advising people. But the issue is there's no real expert. Like, most people are just faking it till you make it, and they're just trying to sell you their course. Like, I figured this out when I watched Steve Harvey. He used to give advice on his show where he gave romantic dating advice as well as writing 2 books about it.
Men really appreciate it, and should women offer to pay for half on the first date?
No.
But the guy's been married 3 times. Does that make you professional? Maybe. 3rd time lucky. But things really do get lucky when it comes to financial advice. In fact, this was proven when there was an experiment. In 1973, Preston University did an experiment where they blindfolded a bunch of monkeys, throwing darts at a newspaper financial page to select their stock portfolio, while also comparing to genuine stockbrokers. And they found that the monkeys actually did way better than the stockbrokers. These experts in stock somehow didn't achieve the same goal as a blindfolded monkey. So this proves there's no real expert most of the time when it comes to finance or business. It's luck. To be fair, I also do believe in the stockbroking monkey. I think we're not giving the monkey credit where credit's due. If you know of any stock picking monkeys, please do let me know. I'm willing to invest. Like, I want advice on whether I should sell my GameStop stocks. Like, I don't know if that's too late. Like, I'm losing money and it's driving me bananas. And by the way, isn't it weird how the smaller the job title name, the more they get paid? Like, a chief kitchen ceramic underwater technician, also known as a dishwasher, does not get paid as much as a CEO, that stands for Chief Executive Officer, or a CFO, that stands for a Chief Financial Officer, or a BBC, that's short for... Wait, that's not even short. Anyway, the podcast slowly moved over from financial and business advice to now being a right-wing echo chamber full of different people with their views. Recently, he got in hot water because he was talking about anti-vax stuff, and he compared it to like Martin Luther King and Gandhi, and you know, him speaking about it is like them standing up for what they believed in. Like, I don't remember Martin Luther King ever mentioning, I have a dream that one day black people and white people won't be vaxxed, and I'll talk about it in my very successful podcast. Like, Steven doesn't do any pushbacks when it comes to these guests. Like, as a business guy, a CEO, he has to do his due diligence, looking at a business from both the pro and the con perspective. You can't really just look at a business and go, well, I like what this person's selling me, I'm not going to look into it even more, I'm just going to accept it at face value from whatever this salesman is trying to tell me. You have to be able to push back, you have to be able to be prepared. And if he does look at the pro and cons when it comes to business investment, he should definitely do that when it comes to his podcast too. Like, Steven recently had the guest that claimed that he could cure autism with a good diet. To be fair, I'm on day 2 of the diet, and I was able to hold eye contact with my neighbor for 2 minutes before I ran away, so maybe there is something there. The guy keeps bringing in unconventional people who have political views or just controversial views. To be fair, Steven did start his business with social media, and social media is really known for rage baiting. In fact, I saw this rage baiting Facebook post about how Muslim immigrants are coming over here turning our kids transgender. Like, that doesn't even make sense. But if Muslims were turning your kids transgender, you know how easy that would be? You don't need no testosterone blockers. Just a burqa would do. Now you can turn a Frank into a Fatima. And Steven has also become very red pill, as he's recently been pushing the view about how women are the reason for the decrease of birth rate. There's a whole article that was written, but I didn't read it. A woman wrote it, and I'm not gonna read that, you know what I mean? Like, something she said, I don't know. This guy says it way better, explains it way better than the article.
So recently, a clip of his was going viral where he was talking about, we have a lot of men who are disillusioned of becoming incels, right? Finding themselves in pockets of the internet or resentful, all those kind of things. Should society intervene to course correct that, put systems in place to make sure that those men meet partners? So you get a guest coming on going, you know, modern feminism is the reason why birth rates are falling, or dating is broken because women have got standards now. It comes with, wow, that's so powerful, tell me more. No pushback, no what's your evidence, no is that actually true. This is why a lot of people have called him like a Trojan horse, right? Because it isn't the same as Andrew Tate standing up there shouting and screaming. This has got like a therapy vibe to it.
And there is dangerous misinformation that he's been spreading with his podcast. Like, he brought on this neuroscientist who's actually one of the most viewed videos. And by the way, if health and business are on the same title, they're selling you something. Health and business shouldn't be in the same title. They're not there to help you out. They're there to make money. A video that went viral that was edited badly by Steven's team discussed a myth that wasn't properly expressed on the viral video.
Did you know there's a really fascinating experiment done on weightlifters? They lifted no weights for 2 weeks. They just sat there and they visualized themselves lifting weights. They had a 13% increase in muscle mass.
On the clip, she talks about how 13% of muscle mass increased within 2 months by visualization. However, this is misinformation. In the actual article, they were measuring muscle strength rather than muscle mass. And unfortunately, people might have watched this and believed it. In fact, I was one of the people who believed this. You know what I mean? For some time, I was visualizing my penis muscles growing. And, you know, it's been 2 months and in fact, it's decreased. So, you know, now it makes sense. But if you want to know more about this neuroscience and the misinformation, because there's been quite a few, I will leave a link down below of some guy who breaks it down really better. His YouTube name's Giant Shoulder, and he gives way more informative breakdown of the misinformation from this episode. By the way, the most viewed video on Diarrhea of a CEO is when Steven had Robert Greene on his podcast. The guy behind 48 Laws of Power. Like, this book is also just a sales tactic. One of the things I've seen online that's tried to pitch it is the fact that it's not allowed in prisons. It's not allowed in 18 prisons in America because it's a security threat, because it guides people how to manipulate. But you know what book is banned from all prisons in America? The Game of Thrones series. So I don't see why people aren't reading that more than this 48 Laws of Power. And if a guy's selling you a book about manipulation, don't you think he's manipulating you to buy his book as well? Like, this guy, Robert Greene, also has another book called The Art of Seduction. But I was surprised that he even wrote a book about the art of seduction until I learned that one of the big things was manipulation in the book. You know, now it makes more sense. Because the only way I could see this guy's tips with seduction being successful is if it involved a cloth and chloroform. In August 2024, he was also banned for doing paid ads that made it look like it was just natural advertisement, when really he was the owner of the business that was marketing to people.
This week, the Advertising Standards Authority banned 2 ads for Huel and Zoe featuring entrepreneur and BBC Dragon Steven Bartlett. The ads included a testimonial from Steven Bartlett, but failed to mention he was a director in Huel and an investor in Zoe, and for that reason, the ads were misleading.
And he never clearly disclosed that it was a commercial. But to be fair, he's a CEO. Scamming is part of the CEO business. So this one I'll let off. At the end of the day, Diarrhea of a CEO has taught me one thing. And that is, if you fake it, you can easily make it. If you're confident enough, you can lie your way to the top. But most of the time, people fail. And most of the time, not everyone could be a millionaire. Unless you get lucky and you get into this German stock exchange or something like that. Or you just have some weird stockbroking monkey in your closet or something. But unfortunately, I don't have. Confidence in yourself and faking it till you make it, with a little manipulation as well, could build up your career. But more likely, it might not be possible. Not everyone could be a millionaire. Not everyone could be massively successful. But whether those decisions work or not are beyond your control. But from the things I've learned online, the best advice I can give you is good luck. I hope Steven goes back to his origins when it comes to Diarrhea of a CEO and becomes Diarrhea of a CEO again. But Steven, if you end up watching this, that's less likely to happen, to be fair. Go back to Diarrhea of a CEO, because no one cares about political views or bringing in these weird people to talk about whatever they're selling. We don't need the Joe Rogan in the UK to hump stalls and annoy people. I'm already doing that. So if you want to learn more about the secrets of success and how to increase your penis size by 2% within 2 months, make sure to follow, subscribe, watch my other videos. No homo. Thank you for watching Diarrhea of a CEO. I need to take a shit now.